Hello dear students, good afternoon. How are you all? I hope you all are good and enjoying this time, right? So today we are going to start your chapter 3 of your book, Woven Words, and the chapter is The Rocking Horse Winner. So welcome to this class on behalf of Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. So dear students, have a look at your chapter 3. So students, have a look at the chapter on the screen, right? And your chapter 3 of Woven Words, the book is Woven Words and its chapter is The Rocking Horse Winner, right? The shocking, the surprising horse winner means from the title itself it is clear to us that we are talking about a horse race, means benefits from horse race, and we are talking about a child, right? We are talking about a child and who mints money from horse race, right? So let us learn what the writer D.H. Lawrence tries to explain through this chapter. And D.H. Lawrence explains the human psychology, human mentality about his current well-being. Okay, these are some expressions, and off and on when we are going through the chapter we will come across these phrases and these words, and at the time we will be learning about them. So have a look at the chapter. There was a woman who was beautiful, who started with all the advantages, yet she had no luck. Yes, the main character, one of the main characters of this chapter, we are talking about a woman who was very beautiful, and in the very beginning everything began in a very nice and smooth way, right? Everything was fine, and in the due course of time she got married, right? But as you know, every girl has some dreams, has her own aspirations about her marriage. So she was also married, right? And she did not know that this so-called marriage would not turn out to be a successful one, as the writer explains. She had bony children, yet she felt they had been thrust upon her and she could not love them. Yes, after marriage she got 2 children and they were beautiful. Bony means beautiful, right? They were beautiful children, and she did not like these children, and what she thought, that these 2 children were imposed on her. She did not want children, but she got. So she is thinking that she got these children as imposed children after marriage. They looked at her coldly, means without sentiments, as if they were finding fault with her. Whenever her mother came across her children looked at her without any feelings, without any sentiments in their mind for her, and it looked as if they were trying to fault with their mother, and hurriedly she felt she must cover up some fault in herself. She also somehow came to know that her children were also not happy with her. So outwardly she was trying to hide her faults, right? Yet what it was that she must cover up, she never knew. She knew that she would not be able to hide her feelings and she would not be able to remove her faults, right? Nevertheless, when her children were present, she always felt the center of her heart go hard, right? This troubled her, and in her manner she was all the more gentle and anxious for her children, as if she loved them very much. However, when her children were present, whenever she was in front of her children, she always felt the center of her heart go hard. She always showed as if she loved them too much, right? This troubled her, and inwardly she also knew that she was not loving her children. She was not justifying with her children. She also knew that, and it troubled her. But in her manner, she was all the more gentle. So, when she felt like she behaved in a more gentle manner, right? And she was anxious, she was caring, worried about her children as if she loved them very much. And she just behaved as if she was really fond of them. Only she herself knew that at the center of her heart was a hard little place that could not feel love. No, not for anybody. And she also knew that this is not the case of her children. But the thing is, she never loved anything. She never loved anyone. Right? Not only her children. Everybody else said of her, she is such a good mother. She adores her children. Only she herself and her children themselves knew it was not so. They read it in each other's eyes. Means outwardly, means this is the case, this is the reality inside the house, within the household. But people outside, means other people used to think, other people were of the opinion that she loved her children very much, and her children also loved her very much, and there was very harmonious relationship between the two. Between the two means mother and children. There was a good bonding between a mother and her children. But inwardly and in reality, they both knew, means mother as well as her children knew it very well, that there was no shred of love, there was no clue of love between them. They did not love each other, means mother did not love her children and children did not love their mother. There were a boy and two little girls. So dear students, I told you she had two beautiful children, and who they were? She had one son and two little girls. So we can say three children she had got. Okay, they lived in a pleasant house with a garden, and they had discreet servants, very careful and discerning, intelligent, deep thinking servants were also there, and felt themselves superior to anyone in the neighborhood. And she, every time she felt that only she was intelligent and only she had got brains and none else. So in the whole neighborhood, she was of the opinion that only she was more intelligent, right? Although they lived in style, they felt always an anxiety in the house, right? Although they lived, means these children, her mother, they had their own style in the household, but they felt always an anxiety, a different kind of anxious feelings, anxiety. They always felt in the house. They felt something strange was there in the house. There was never enough money. And what was that? Anxiety for the shortage, for want of money. They always needed money because money fell short in the household. The mother had a small income and the father had a small income, but not nearly enough for the social position. Means the mother as well as the father, means these three children's parents, they both were earning money, but that was not sufficient enough, that was not ample enough to support the whole family in such a way that they could make a show of, flaunt in the society as a good and strong, economically strong social being. Actually, outwardly, they had managed to show off economically strong, but inwardly, they were not strong. The father went into town to some office, but though he had good prospects, good future potentials, these prospects never materialized. Though he had good future, good potentials, but he could never gain anything from these potentials. There was always the grinding sense of the shortage of money, though the style was always kept up. Yes, they used to maintain this show off in the society, but actually every time they fell short of money in the family. At last the mother said, I will see if I cannot make something. But she did not know where to begin. The mother was also anxious for want of money. So one day she thinks that she could do something. But she was looking for the opportunity. She racked her brains and tried this thing and the other, but could not find anything successful. She was thinking of this and that means of economic gains, means of income. The failure made deep lines come into her face. Every time she was tense, her children were growing up, they would have to go to school. Now, with the passage of time, her children were growing up, and now it was time for them to go to school. There must be more money, and if they go to school, they would require some more money as school fees, uniform, books, etc., etc., right? There must be more money. The father, who was always very handsome and expensive in his taste, means lifestyle, seemed as if he never would be able to do anything worth doing. And the way he was leading his life, he had a very exquisite lifestyle, but actuality was there. The real thing was he was not able to earn much, right? It was clear. And the mother, who had a great belief in herself, means, this line is very important, means the mother had no trust, no belief in her husband regarding his income, okay, but did not succeed any better. The mother was also trying to earn a lot, but she was not successful, and her tastes were just as expensive. She was also not behind her husband, means she was also leading her life in a lavish way, means showing off. She also had such a full of show off lifestyle. And so the house came to be haunted by the unspoken phrase. So every time the whole atmosphere of the household was like the shortage of money every time. So this phrase used to be resounded in the house, in the atmosphere of the house. What was the phrase? There must be more money. There must be more money. The children could hear it all the time, though nobody said it aloud. Means this is just mentality. This is just a psychological effect, right? Means whenever parents are talking to each other, whenever the parents are discussing about the shortage of money every time, children are also intelligent. They also observe everything. So in the family, the children were observing everything, and it seemed that every time they also started thinking of this phrase. What was the phrase? There must be more money. There must be more money. Actually, nobody was speaking, but they felt like hearing every time. They heard it at Christmas, no matter what occasion was there, but every time they were hearing this phrase. No matter it was Christmas time, when expensive and splendid toys filled the nursery, behind the shining modern rocking horse, behind the smart dolls, means whatever the activities the children were engaged in, every time they were hearing this phrase, right? What was the phrase? Once again, let me tell you, there must be more money, there must be more money, and the children would stop playing. If the children were playing and whenever they heard this phrase, at once they stopped playing, means they were also feeling very tortured like while being in the house. To listen for a moment, they would look into each other's eyes, means one brother and two sisters. They used to look into the eyes of other sibling, right, to see if they had all heard, means they were looking at one another in such a way as if they were just trying to confirm from each other, did you also listen what I am hearing? Did you also hear what I am hearing? Yeah, I also. So in this way, these children were psychologically feeling tortured. Yes, there must be more money, there must be more money. It came whispering from the springs of the still swaying rocking horse, and even the horse, bending his wooden champing head, heard it every time. Be it the case of this horse also, means this child, the boy, was sitting on a horse toy horse, and every time in this way he was swaying on the horse, and when he was enjoying on the horse, that time also he was hearing there must be more money, this phrase. The big doll sitting so pink and smirking on a new pram could hear it quite plainly and seemed to be smirking all the mere self-consciously because of it. So, every time these children were feeling like that, every time, right? And smirking means flaunting. They felt, outwardly they felt something different, there must be more money, right? That took the place of the teddy bear, the foolish puppy, the teddy bear. So, they could not hold as much importance in the eyes of the children. Generally, the children are too much fond of toys, but here the case was different. Whenever the children were trying to play something with these toys, they all of a sudden started hearing this phrase, there must be more money, there must be more money. That's why they could not focus on their game, whatever they were playing. So, he was looking for so extraordinarily foolish for no other reason, but that he heard the secret whisper all over the house, there must be more money. And in this way, the child, this son, every time he heard this phrase, there must be more money. Yet nobody ever said it aloud. I have told you, the reality is, actually nobody was speaking this phrase, nobody was, and nobody else. Means suppose any outsider of this household used to come in the house, he could not hear anything. That's why we can say this is just a psychological disorder, right? The whisper was everywhere and therefore no one spoke it. Actually, no one was speaking it, just as no one ever says, we are breathing, everybody is breathing, you are breathing, I am breathing, everybody is breathing, but do we say to each other, I am breathing, I am breathing? It is quite understood. Whosoever is alive is surely breathing, right? So, mother, said the boy Paul. Okay, dear students, please note it. This son's name is Paul, little Paul. Okay, one day he said something to his mother. Mother, why don't we keep a car of our own? Why do we always use uncle's or else a taxi? Mama, can't we buy any car of our own? Every time if we happen to go somewhere, we have to manage everything by borrowing a car from our uncle, or we have to hire a taxi. So, the child is asking, because we are the poor members of the family, said the mother. Means she was saying, beta, we are not able to buy any car because we are poor. Your father is not able to support us properly in an ample source of income. So, sorry, we cannot afford it. But why are we? Why are we, mother? Means why are we poor? Why are we not able to lead our life in an exquisite manner like our friends? These are children. So, well, I suppose she said slowly and bitterly, it is because your father has no luck. Now, she is blaming her husband, and she is telling her children that, dear children, that is just because of your father. Your father is not able to earn much, that's why we are not able to lead such type of life as you are thinking of, right? The boy was silent for some time. Is luck money, mother? You are saying our father is not lucky, it means luck is money? He is asking in a childish way, right? He asked rather timidly, cowardly, timidly. No, Paul, not quite. No, Paul, not like that. It's what causes you to have money. Luck means she is explaining, she is elaborating. What? No, beta, not like that. But the thing is, not like that means luck is not money, but luck brings money. She is saying, luck is what causes you to have money. If you are lucky, you will get more and more money. But if you are not lucky, you will not have money. In this way. Oh, said Paul vaguely, unclearly, means he was not able to understand everything clearly. That's why in an obscure way, he is saying, oh, I thought when Uncle Oscar said fill the liquor, it meant money. Liquor, a kind of horse race. So the boy is saying, oh, that's why one day I heard Uncle Oscar, right? This is the same uncle. Yes, Mama, we have to, then we always use uncle's car. Yes, the child is asking, so this is the same uncle, Uncle Oscar. So he is saying, the boy is saying, I thought when Uncle Oscar said fill the liquor, it meant money. So whenever uncle used to say anything about liquor, now it means money. He was talking about money. Fill the liquor does mean money, said the mother. But it's liquor, not luck. Beta, I agree that it is lucre. He is earning money through lucre. But this is not correct that lucre is luck. Right? Lucre is not luck. Oh, said the boy. Then what is luck, mother? This is not luck. This is not luck. Then what is luck, mom? It's what causes you to have money. Dear child, dear Paul, I have already explained to you what is luck. Luck is what brings you money. Is that clear now? Okay. So, if you are lucky, you have money. That's why it's better to be born lucky than rich. You are rich. It doesn't mean you are lucky. But if you are lucky, it means you will be rich. Okay. You will have so many opportunities of earning more and more money. So, you may lose your money, but right, if you are rich, you may lose your money, but if you are lucky, you will always get more and more money. Being lucky, you will not be able to lose anything. Every time you will be getting and getting, you will not be losing anything. Right? So, being rich doesn't mean you are lucky, but being lucky, it means you are supposed to be rich also. Right? Oh, will you? And is father not lucky? Oh, mom, then will you tell me, is father not lucky? The child is asking. Very unlucky. Oh, no, beta, please don't talk about your father. It is very much clear now that your father is not lucky. I should say, she said bitterly. She had malice for her husband. She did not think good of her husband, right? That's why she is saying bitterly. The boy watched her with unsure eyes. The boy was not sure whether his mother was telling true or not. But why? He asked. I don't know. Nobody ever knows why one person is lucky and why another person is unlucky. This is not clear. Nobody knows. Do they? Nobody at all. Does nobody know? Means, do they know that they are lucky? Do they know they are not lucky? In this way, the boy is asking. Perhaps God. Beta, I think nobody knows whether he is lucky or whether he is not lucky. But only one thing, one person, one being is there in the world who knows everything, and that is none other than God. Only God knows that he is lucky or not. Perhaps God. But he never tells. You know, God knows everything. God is omniscient, right? God knows everything, but God does not tell us anything, right? He ought to then. The child is saying, actually, mom, then do not you think that God should tell us everything? He ought to. It is his moral duty to tell us. And aren't you lucky either, mother? If our father is not lucky, as you are saying, so should we think that you are also not lucky? I cannot be lucky, beta. If I married an unlucky husband, means I cannot be lucky because I have got married to an unlucky person. So I am also not lucky. But by yourself, aren't you? Now the child is saying, why don't you put your own efforts to be lucky enough? Our father is not lucky, it's okay. You are saying because of our father you are not lucky. How can we think? How can you think so? You can put your efforts. Why can't you? But you yourself, aren't you? I used to think I was. Beta, earlier I used to think that I was lucky before I married. But now I think I am very unlucky indeed. It is the reality, it is the sharp reality that I am not lucky. But why? Why do you think you are not lucky? Well, never mind. Perhaps I'm not really lucky, she said. The child looked at her to see if she meant it. But he saw by the lines of her mouth that she was only trying to hide something from him. Now the child caught her face, read her face, and somehow he could learn something from her face, as if she was trying to hide something, and means she did not feel like telling something to her children, especially Paul. Well, anyhow, he said stoutly, firmly, he said, I am a lucky person. Mom, I do not think whether you are lucky or unlucky, whether my father is lucky or unlucky, but only one thing I know, that at least I am lucky. Yes, I am confident. I am lucky. But why? How can you say you are lucky? Said his mother with a sudden laugh. He stared at her. Continuously, he looked at his mother. He did not even know why he had said it. The child actually, like that only, he just happened to speak out, I am lucky. But when his mother asked him, how are you lucky? How can I say you are lucky? The child had no answer. Oh, then, by chance, he happened to speak out, God told me. He asserted, he confirmed that God told me that I am lucky, brazening it out. I hope he did. Would that I wish he might have told you these things, she said again with a laugh, but rather bitter. He did, mother. Please trust me. Please believe me. God himself told me that I am lucky. Excellent, said the mother, using one of her husband's exclamation. Okay, excellent. Well said. In this way, the boy saw she did not believe him. The boy came to know that she was not believing him what he was saying, or rather that she paid no attention to his assertion, whatever the statement he was making with affirmation, right? So he thought that his mother was not at all ready to believe him. This angered him somewhat and made him want to compel her attention. Actually, he just wanted her to pay attention to him, to what he was saying. So this made him a little bit angry. He went off by himself vaguely in a childish way, in an obscure way, in a childish way. He just walked out seeking for the clue to luck. Now he was in search of luck, means he wanted to prove that he was really lucky, right? Absorbed, quite thinking he was, taking no attention. He means attention of other people. He did not pay attention to what people were thinking of him, but he was thinking of only one thing, and that he was lucky. But the thing is, he wanted to prove. He was not sure how he was going to prove himself lucky. He went about with a sort of stealth, seeking inwardly for luck. Means he was just moving about without being noticed by people, and he was profoundly lost in his thinking that he was lucky. He wanted luck. He wanted it. I want luck. I want it. In this way, he wanted it. Anyhow, come what may. When the two girls, means his sisters, were playing dolls in the nursery, he would sit on his big rocking horse. The title of the chapter, the big rocking horse. He was sitting at the time, and his sisters were at the same time playing with dolls, charging madly into space, means as if he was lost somewhere. I am lucky, I am lucky. And in this way, he was swaying on his big rocking horse. I am lucky, I am lucky. He was lost somewhere, right? With a frenzy that made the little girls peer at him uneasily. And when you were, I am lucky, I am confident, I am lucky. So whenever his sisters had a look at him, at their brother, so they were also confused. What happened to our brother? Wildly, right?